Hello, everyone. Hello, fellow truth warriors. It's Chris here from the Atlantic Underground podcast. Um, Sometimes the truth is actually the scariest thing that we can ever face. And right now, it feels like we are living in an absolute nightmare. The truth is, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And I'm not sugarcoating it here, I'm sorry, but people need to hear how things are. We've just gone through 2 years of lies. And now, with the data releases that are coming out and the information that is being made available directly from some of the sources like Pfizer, people are waking up to this and people are realizing how much of a risk that they are actually in for taking the experimental vaccine. But all of a sudden, a new threat appears, and with that new threat comes again the same people pushing propaganda, and these lies start all over again. The thing is, these lies, they cover up lies that were told in the past, things that they had tried to keep covered up. And quite amazing, again, this information starts rising to the top where people can see exactly what's gone on over many, many years. And I'm talking about things that have gone on right across Europe, Ukraine, US. We're talking lies, corruption, and people using places for very, very nefarious means. The trouble is when they propagandize these lies and try and cover up again and get people to think. They just want you to think in a certain way. They don't want you to think about anything that rises to the surface that could expose them to what they have been doing for so long. They just want you to think the same way, which is why they use the media organisations on such a grand scale. And I'm seeing so many people that I thought were smart enough to take a look at evidence and things coming forward and really, really dig deep down inside and see how that gut feeling is for you. But these people aren't. I'm seeing so many people coming up with the Ukraine flags. I stand with Ukraine, which is fine because, I get that there are people being hurt out there. But what you need to understand is in supporting what you think are the people who are getting hurt out in the Ukraine, the attachment to this is the corrupt people that have brought this about and are making it appear that it's a one-sided war. And it's not a one-sided war. They're using the same game plan again, as I say. It makes it even more glaringly obvious when you start scratching at the surface and seeing what's been really going on for a very long time. This isn't something that's just happened. We've got NATO pushing in now onto these countries and using Canada and the UK and Europe and all the people who have signed up to the agreement. They want them to go in and send your sons, your daughters, your brothers, your sisters out into a war which they shouldn't be fighting. And this is quite the sad reality of every war that's preceded this. We look back at the weapons of mass destruction that never were and how many people died in that war. We look at people that died in Afghanistan for a guy who supposedly brought about 2 planes into 2 towers from a cell phone in a cave. I can't believe that people buy these very, very wide stories that are put out there. but the propaganda and the media, and if enough people say it enough times, does that really make it believable? Or do people feel that they need to choose a side? This isn't an ice hockey game. This isn't a soccer game. This isn't a political rally where you have to choose who you're going to vote for or who you're going to support. What if you supported no one? What if you just sat back and looked at what's going on and said, regardless, this is wrong on both sides. This doesn't need to happen. It appears that Russia have gone into the Ukraine because of what NATO has been doing. There's also the fact that they have been placing a lot of very nasty, horrible people in the Ukraine that have been ethnically cleansing and killing thousands of people prior to this war. But you don't see that, do you? Maybe you don't know that. And maybe you should go away and look at this. Because the pushback from what I can see is the line in the sand. They want to stop this going on. They want to stop NATO. And we think of NATO and the UN maybe as the good guys. Oh, these are the guys, they stopped the Germans, and this treaty was brought about to unify and stop global wars happening and take out the bad guys. Well, I've got news for you. The bad guys are the fucking lot of them. And they're all prepared to fight and kill each other. And these wars come about when there's financial losses. When all else fails, they do take you to war. How long is humanity prepared to go along with this? This is what amazes me. It's history repeating time and time again. And we go along with it. How about if we just said no? How about if we told the politicians, we want no involvement with this whatsoever. We do not give you the authority to send people to die in wars for corporations, especially when those corporations are protecting their wealth in foreign countries. Especially when these huge operations are funded by the politicians who have been bought by these corporations. You need to look into this. If you do not know this, please don't take my word for it. Don't take their word for it. Don't take anyone's word for it. Go out and find out for yourself. Because ultimately, if you don't, you're going to suffer. And your children are going to suffer. People are going to say, well, who's to blame? We're to blame. We're to blame for doing absolutely nothing to stop this. And if you want to pick a side and support it, this is no game. This is people's lives that are being played with. And not only that, the future of humanity is being played with. This isn't fun. This isn't a game. We're seeing the cost of commodities, food, fuel, energy going through the roof. We're seeing sanctions being put on places. And these sanctions are crazy. I'm seeing people supporting the fact that they're going to take Russian vodka off the shelves of the liquor stores here. I'm thinking that that's a good thing. Think for a minute. Please think for a minute. Because what you're going to find out is that, firstly, those items taken off the shelves are already paid for. Secondly, if you pick up a bottle of Russian vodka, it's not made in Russia. It's made in Ontario or another place. It's like buying Guinness. It doesn't come from Ireland. That's where it originated from. But it's made here in Canada. So who is really being hurt? The people that are being hurt are those who work at these places. People may be getting laid off from their jobs. We are cutting our own noses off to spite our own faces, and people are not awake enough to see this. We need to realise the damage that we are causing, and the hurt and the pain that is coming about is done by us to ourselves for being so naive and believing what's going on. Yeah, okay, we know. We've got some seriously corrupt politicians there. We've seen that over the past 2 years, and we've seen what they've done, and we've seen bringing emergency measures out and taking people's rights away and freezing bank accounts and assaulting innocent, unarmed people. It has to stop. But guess what? You're still allowing those same politicians to be in the same positions. You're still allowing the same corrupt corporations to conduct business. We lose out whilst the greatest wealth transfer in world history goes on. We've been infiltrated. We've been infiltrated for a long time. And these people who are bad, who profit from this, are infiltrating everything around you. And we need to start defending ourselves and our freedom and our rights and everything that we would hope for our children and our grandchildren in the future. People are going to say, what's the solution? Well, first of all, stand together. There's been such a divide over the past 2 years. Families divided, friends divided. And if you can't see that we're all being played, then maybe your loss is down to you. We need to stand together, people. Don't people realise the danger that we're actually in? The prices are skyrocketing out there, and it's going to continue to the point where you can't afford anything. Or the value of your money has been so hyperinflated that it represents a vision of the likes of the Weimar Republic or Czechoslovakia, or places that went through hyperinflation. They had to take a wheelbarrow full of cash to the store just to buy a loaf of bread. This is where it's heading. They're also passing acts in Parliament to try and further restrict your freedoms. Can you see what they're doing to you? They are building a prison around you. They're allowing you to build the prison for them. And until we say no more and stop this, it's going to continue, and it's going to get, as I said earlier, a lot worse before it gets better. We are not powerless. We are not useless. And the more we talk, and the more we share, and the more we come together, the more chance we have of stopping this. The power of love is an absolute incredible thing. And I think humanity has lost the power of love for each other, because what they have done for so long now is divide us. Well, you're not like me because you don't follow my religion. Well, you're not like me because you're not the same race. Well, you're not like me because we have a different sexual orientation. Well, you're not like me because you're a different class. They're going to eradicate all classes. There's going to be the poor and the rich. And when you look at things like the Great Reset, you're going to understand why they are saying you will own nothing and you will like it. I don't think I am going to like it. But I tell you what, if we come together, stand together and stop this, they are not going to like it. It's time, people. No point sitting there looking at your phone every day, getting upset about what's going on. We need to come together and do something about this. Let me know in the comments below what you think you're going to do to make the change. Tell me how we're going to do this. I can come up and show you exactly what's going on, how it's going on, who's involved. But until we get everyone together and we're all on the same page and we all stop hating each other for our beliefs, nothing is going to happen and humanity's demise will come about. Please wake up, people. Please see what's going on. And please come together and let's make a change in the world that we all want to see. We can't let these criminals continue to run our lives and deceive us and tell us what to do. You were born free. We're the only species on the planet that gets told what to do by others. who have no authority over us. Take care, people. Keep watching this, subscribe to the channel, and I'll try and keep you updated as often as I can with what I see is going on. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care.